Okay, and that was the Fourth Amendment, and then I'm gonna get into the half of the Fifth, and this is very important. You know what I'm saying, for the followers that's following along, because you got to understand what they're talking about is property, and the property is you. So every time they say property, they might be talking about your couch, the car, you, or anything, but property is broad property. You know, it's God's gift and it's God's creation, and pretty much out of God's creation, we pretty much the property from God's creation. And as far as property and everything that's man-made, you know, that's just man-made. So I mean, that's property. So you know, man made God and man made every. I mean, God made man and man made everything else. You know what I mean? And that's all property. Everything from the creation down, they record they document as property. So in the Fifth Amendment, I want to get into something real thorough, because it speaks to due process. You know, it speaks to nobody should be deprived of liberty, property, or and plus due process of law. Now, due process of law is most definitely official, because if anytime somebody take it, okay, just like in my situation, you know, my situation, the police that came in my house the first time, they gave me no due process of law, because they divided my property, they judged me, and they unlawfully kicked me out. So they was just like the juror, the repo, and the reaper. You feel me? They make all decisions in my property. That's no due process. That's, you know what I'm saying. First of all, they ain't had no oath. In the oath, like I was getting into, is a statement. The statement of facts. My girl would have been the statement of facts. She would have been the oath. She would have been the damaged party. But without none of her, like I said, without none of her property or anything damaged, there ain't no damaged party. There ain't no crime. And that's what y'all fully got to understand. People that's trying to, you know what I'm saying, that's going to use this and benefit them and exercise their constitutional right. Man, no, without you holding nobody from their, withholding somebody from their liberty or damage somebody's property, there is no crime. There ain't no reason for the police. There's no reason for harassment. And then one thing I gotta figure out, like everybody watching the news and everybody be talking about, well, they just said this on the news, they just said this. Well, if they said anything and they made any law that's not in the constitutional, then that's unconstitutional. That's what y'all gotta understand. They can't make no law. They can put that shit on TV. They can put that stuff anywhere they want. But if it's unconstitutional, it's unconstitutional. You just gotta be the person to get into it and exercise your rights and know your rights and reserve the Constitution. Reserve your rights and reserve the Constitution, because without us exercising the Constitution, there ain't gonna be no Constitution left. So as I was saying, like in the Fifth Amendment, you know, it demands due process of law. So they got me out of my house with no court, with no warrant, you know, and without my girl, then there's no due process of law. There wasn't no due process. And you know, y'all look up Google due process and learn more due process of law. So actually, so when I'm getting out, you know, I call the police. So now what I'm doing, I'm reserving my rights. You know, make this a long story short. You know what I'm saying? You just being the first person to punt before the police come, actually talking about you broke the rights. Wait, hold up, I ain't break my rights under common law, because I ain't held under common law. I held under the UCC, United Commercial Codes. You know what I mean? Like most of the stuff I hear, that's just common law. That's just law that change every day. Tomorrow be this, tomorrow you can't do this. But the UCC, United Commercial Codes, just don't stand it. United Codes, the USC, United States Codes. You know what I'm saying? That's withhold. That's statutes and facts that withhold the law to keep in order the law, keep in order the peace, and keep in order the police, and helping us keep in order. That's why you're gonna see a lot of them people, you know what I'm saying, so and so versus, you know, US, so and so versus this one, because these people actually withholding the Constitution and taking other people, you know what I'm saying, to court. You know what I'm saying, that took an oath to withhold the Constitution. You know what I mean? So, and that just pretty much. So when I call the police and they come, you know, I ain't got no due process law. So pretty much they broke all my amendments. They broke my liberty. They didn't give me my liberty. They took my liberty from me. They took my property from me. They gave me no due process of law with no damaged party or nobody damaged property. So the whole thing illegal. So what I do, I get on the phone, I reserve my rights. Like, hey, okay, these people breaking the law. I'm over here on the right side of the law, so I'm calling for the record to reserve my rights. Because somebody else is breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? The government is breaking the law. I don't want this to come back on me as if I was breaking the law. And, you know, so pretty much I'm the first person to call 911. You know what I'm saying? In the law enforcement situation, the first person to honestly do it was my girl. But hers is no good because there ain't no damage party, there ain't no crime, so it's a false. You know, mine's when I call, mine's official. So when other police come out, and like I said, I'm gonna bring out the 911 tape, but when other police come out, he come out there, he started talking to the other ladies. He's their lieutenant. They all work for together. So if we talking about justice, the other police officer can't give me no justice because it's already a conflict of interest. But I sat there and see was I gonna get justice, but I recognize the conflict of interest, and conflict of interest is, I guess, is anybody knowledge you know somebody, and I mean I guess it's like a cousin. Like, okay, if I'm from the Reynolds family and everybody out there from the Halls family, and I do something to the Halls family, and I come in and everybody know that I'm an outsider, how you know what I'm saying, who they think they're gonna vote for? They're gonna vote for the Hall family. I'm like, well, and that's a conflict of interest. And whenever you're in a situation like that, whether in courts or anything, a conflict of interest can't decide and give honest justice. So you gotta go outside the right. So anyway, when he come and he asked me what's going on, I tell him what's going on. He refused to give, saying he wanted to continue to keep me off my property, which is the second officer. He want to keep on continuing to keep me off my property and continue breaking the law. I told him that it was a conflict of interest in the matter from you being a lieutenant, and they just broke the law, so you still kicking me off. So I mean, must I say any more? And on top of this, I showed to him and told him, and hopefully that he recognized that this was a civil matter. Me and my girlfriend got in an argument with no damage party. There's several courts out there, and this is a civil court. This was a civil matter. This wasn't no criminal court. This wasn't no municipal court or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and her had a conflict of interest, and me and her was in a contract. So the only person that can break our contract between me and her was me and her. You know what I mean? Police officers can't come in there and break no contract with nobody. And that's what you're in, whether it's a verbal contract, silent contract, a knowledgeable or unknowledgeable contract is a contract. And with a contract, you got to go to a court or a higher person to sort out the property. You know what I'm saying? And, look at the contract. They was able to do none of that because they ain't the court, they ain't no jury, they just officers. You know what I'm saying? To withhold the Constitution of the United States and officer to protect us. So they can't give you no trial. They can say they unlawful, they can say they above the law or whatever, but they can't be the jury. They ain't everybody. So whenever you in a situation, and I'm stressing this out there, whenever you're in a situation the police is coming at you, bro, they are not everybody. It's in the Fifth Amendment due process of law. They cannot repo. They cannot be the judge. They cannot be the everybody. They can't be everybody, bro. They only could be the officer. So you got to commit a crime for them to get in jurisdiction. Subject matter jurisdiction has got to be an oath taken. It's got to be somebody another. It's got to be a victim, and it's got to be in wet ink. So when he come out, and, he explains this case. He continued to kick me off. I continue to exercise my rights since I don't want to be kidnapped. I don't want to be unlawfully detained. I don't want to be held, against my will. I don't want to be threatened. I will get off my property. He continued to threaten me and everything. So now I'm off my property, and I called the police and sheriff and everybody else. And after this is one of my last calls. I called them and I continued to exercise my rights, and I told them that my rights is being violated, and and just for the record, and as of right now, nobody still came to my aid to help me or anything. So now, police is coming around. They arrested me. Cop hovering over me. He spitting on me, talking in silence, and actually, when talking in silence, he's just talking and moving his lip like, you know what I mean? Like he ain't really saying nothing. He just you probably seen it done. So anyway, by this time, they done hog tied me. Now he ripping through my pockets, ripping off my pockets. They, other people behind me hog tied me, beat me up, carrying me against my will, and hauling me off and dragging me on the floor of the paddy wagon. From there, I faked a couple of seizures and I continue to exercise my rights. And as of right now, I'm a prisoner, against my will. Now I am being kidnapped, unlawfully detained, and I'm being pretty much beat up as of right now for exercising my constitutional right, exercising my rights as a human being under the Constitution. Exercising my rights for a free man. Now they beat me for it, and at this time, I decided to fake a seizure. Police, they run out like cowards. The ambulance man come. I talk to him. I tell him my situation, that I am being taken advantage of. I'm only getting beat up for exercising the Constitution on 911. I asked him, I asked him for help. I asked him to call, so do whatever, man. But right now I'm over here getting embarrassed, on my own property for exercising my property, my rights of my property. So, they beat me, and this ain't really no details to get into, man. They were just beating on me, The second time they came in, because I wouldn't get off the floor, because they threw me on the floor. They tried to get me off the floor, but I couldn't get off the floor because I was hog tied. So they pretty much beat me up again. And that's when they came in hard. They tightened up the hog tie, and then they put a half a can of mace on my face, and then they put a bag over my head, and they continued to whoop on me. And at this time I was just having hard times breathing, and I just just wanted to shit. I'm trying to fight for my life, man. Like I fear for my life at this time. I couldn't breathe, and I just keep it from panicking. And make a long story short, I ended up being beat up for a while, ridiculed for a couple more hours. Talked about Constitution, ridiculed about being a lawyer, ridiculed about not knowing my rights, ridiculed about I don't know what I'm talking about, and all that, so forth and so forth, and how I look good in this bag, was suffocating me and hogtied and stuff like that. So by this time, like I'm at my lowest point at this, in this situation. I'm getting beat up, I'm hogtied, I'm in pain. I've been hogtied for like about 4 hours now. A couple of lieutenants come by and talk to me. A couple of them offered to let me go, told me I shouldn't pursue this issue because I kept on telling them pretty much what I'm telling y'all about exercising my rights and what I know of my rights. So I'm pretty much telling them that. And then pretty much, that leave. I leave, a couple hard speed bumps, take me over to jail, take me to the jail. They take me to the jail, take the bag over my head, take me to the counter, get on the counter, and pretty much asked me a couple questions. I told them I couldn't talk. My eyes was burning. I couldn't see. And they pretty much told me I was suicidal. Dragged me in a room where they stripped me from my clothes, my liberty. Threatened to tase me if I wouldn't take off my clothes. And at this time, they stripped me from my clothes, and I'm naked. And I'm just waiting. It's probably like 4:30. I'm waiting on second shift. Second shift come, go to jail, do all that stuff, go to court. And that court, pretty much that's where they when I go to court the next day, they pretty much they give me try to get me to sign my life over with a privilege and get out on a privilege by signing to any of their agreements or anything on contract. On the record, I don't exercise that. Like I said, that all capital letters name. So now I'm pretty much, I'm out of jail. I'm in jail. I went to court. The lawyer asked me was I drunk over that night and this and that, and I just told her, bitches, you crazy? I just got beat for exercising constitutional right, man. Give me OR or get my bond lower. Ain't nothing else to talk about. See these motherfuckers in court. So, and that's where we at now. Saying from there, I'm gonna start showing y'all the information that I got out when I pretty much got out of jail and all the research I did. So I'm pretty much showing y'all that. I go to court. Actually, I did this the day before I go to court. I go to court tomorrow, the 22nd of February. So I'm gonna have some more information, and that's pretty much that lead, y'all. And everything else I pretty much explained to you how it was unlawful. And the whooping was just the extra icing on the cake. The case, there's a case about the abuse. There's a case about the beating, the police brutality. There's a case what I'm trying to stress through is just off the Constitution. From the first moment they violated my rights, and even before on the phone, because that's what I was doing. Like I'm exercising the Constitution. No right can be converted. No exercise of the Constitution can be converted into a crime, period. So if you exercise the Constitution, it's unconstitutional for somebody to turn that into a crime. So I'm gonna follow along, give y'all more details. Thank you. Be right back with some more. This is Exposed 2. Y'all watch 1, 2, Exposed Police. I'm gonna get into further details, and I'm gonna expose more of this stuff. This actually right where it start to begin. If y'all follow me this far, y'all liked it this far, but y'all gonna love it from there. So stay in touch.